Greetings viewers, this is Monotone Maverick coming at you with another review video. Today we will be reviewing the Real Grade Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee Norn. Now, a brief history of the Banshee Norn. This Gundam was actually made around the same time as the Unicorn, and the only difference of the Banshee compared to the Unicorn, which could be quite obvious aside from the color, is the motif. Whereas the Unicorn obviously had the unicorn motif, this one was more of a lion base. The gold accents on the forehead along with the color signify that of a lion's mane. After both completions of the Unicorn and the Banshee was eventually stationed on Earth with the Augusta Research Lab and tested for atmospheric combat. Another key internal difference between the Banshee and the Unicorn is actually the lack of the LA Plus system, where the Unicorn has that system. The Banshee Norn is actually an upgraded variant of the RX-0 Unicorn Banshee version. The only difference is along with the weapons that's associated with the Banshee, the armed armor VN or vibration nails that was on the right arm of the Banshee, along with the armed armor BS or beam smart gun. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. The vibration nails was on the left arm and the beam smart gun was on the right arm. That was when the Banshee was first introduced. I believe it was episode 4 in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn on Netflix, which by the way, I do recommend watching. The beam smart gun and the vibration nails got replaced by the armed armor DE or defense extension, along with the armed armor Xeno Connect. The armed armor Xeno Connect is basically that backpack attachment, as you can see here in the box, whereas the armed armor DE defense extension is basically the giant shield on this left arm right here in the box. As stated earlier, the Banshee was introduced on episode 4, but really it was introduced at the very last minute of episode 4. We just saw another Gundam similar to the Unicorn just falling down and it just transformed into its destroy mode. Whereas in episode 5, we got much better detail of the Banshee. The Banshee was originally piloted by Miranda Cruz and was later assigned to I'm reading this because I may mispronounce this, but Vide Marcinas. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how you pronounce that name. But regardless, Vide Marcinas was more of the Banshee Norn. This one to present in front of me, whereas Miranda had the original layout or original design of the Banshee, with the vibration fingers along with the beam smart gun. That's enough of the history of the Banshee Norn. Onto the box. As you can see here, it's the same thing like any other real grade. You have the head art on the left and the full body art on the right. On the bottom, you see how the inner frame is just basically just the standard orange, just like how the inner frame will show during destroy mode. And here's the arm number XC, as I mentioned before, and the DE, that giant shield. Nothing too much there, and here just a few action poses for the Banshee. A new beam rifle for the Banshee Norn. This one wasn't originally shown for the original design when Banshee was first introduced in Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. So as soon as the Banshee was turned into the Norn, aside from the arm armor pieces, the XC and the DE, it also came with a beam rifle and I would say like a rocket launcher or grenade launcher attachment. That's about it for the box. The instruction manual. Very simple, not too many, I'll tell you, I would say a good number of pieces actually for a real grade. I think it went all the way to O or P, so definitely a lot of runners, but it is to be expected because this is a transforming figure. I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison with the inner frame, the normal form or normal mode, and the destroy mode right here. And of course, as all the manuals, it starts with the legs, onto the waist, torso, arms, and eventually the armor, the head, I believe. Oh, shoulders first, then the head. Backpack and weapons. Yep. That's about it. It was actually a very fun build putting this together. I forgot to add that this is a kit I built quite a while back, and I decided to actually do a review for it. So enough for the manual in the box. Let's get straight to the figure. And here we are, the real grade Banshee Norn. Now, I built the master grade before, and kind of just like the real grade, the one thing I tend to notice first is the color. Now, I'm not talking about the gold piece, I'm actually talking about the dark navy blue. I kind of wish they decided to just make this just jet black, or maybe even a really dark gray, just so it can match well with how it was in the show, in the series. Because that's the whole point of the Unicorn Gundam along with the Banshee. It's supposed to be complete opposite. One white, one black, yin and yang. At least that's what I was hoping for. But perhaps maybe the dark navy blue was just picked just because maybe look better, was much easier to produce, or maybe even the gloss that comes with it. I still like the light and the dark side just colliding with one another. But that aside, this is pretty proportioned really well. I do like the fact I thought the arm number XC was just a little bit big for it, honestly, just for the size. You can see how it's sticking out right here. That backpack extension. That was the only thing that kind of grabbed to me, but other than that, proportion-wise was very good. I will say that in case you ever need to post this figure, watch out for the beam rifle, especially that effect part that's sticking out. Naturally though, this piece would be very good for aerial poses if you have the proper action base. I'd like to show you now actually the articulation for this kit, just because I feel like it might be a little bit more difficult when all the pieces, when the kit is transformed. So I want to show you now. So for starters, the head can go all the way around if you choose to, but do any more and the head will just come off like so. And of course the back piece will just fall off like that. But that's fine because you can rotate the arm, and just so you know, because this is a real grade, watch out, the arm is pretty stiff. The way how the inner frame works for these real grade kits is that it actually is part of a runner. It's almost like a skeletal system. One solid piece, of course with some movable parts, but it just goes to show how stiff it is. Now that's great for some sort of posing, kind of shows its strength, but at the same time though, it's just very stiff, so just watch out for that. The arms at the elbow joints are actually pretty good, like so. It has a very good 90-degree, oh, I can't even think right now, I'm so sorry. Bend, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, bend. And of course the wrist can go all around. The waist can go all around, nice 360 degrees. I don't think there's any torso articulation, nope, not too much. So I'm just going to move that to the side there to show you the legs. So if you just move the skirt up like so, the legs can go all around, front and back. A nice bend there. Actually a pretty good bend. I would say this bend could be a lot, I believe this bend is actually a lot better than the master grade bend, if I gotta be perfectly honest. Watch out, some pieces could come off. This piece is actually just an attachment piece to put on the action base. I'll do that later. The feet, I mean, technically it can go all the way around. It's just that because of some pieces it might be in a way, and of course some pieces could fall off. Here we go, just, there we go. And of course the legs can go outward, like so. And that's about it for articulation. And put this back on. And I guess just for, this is mostly for the transformation, but you could maneuver these, like so. And actually, if you give me 1 second. Okay, I just had to double check something, but you can actually attach the arm armor BE piece or the giant shield. All you really gotta do is take this piece that was used to attach on the arm, take that piece off, and put this here, right here on this attachment piece, like so. And I just find it looks kind of silly that it has like a giant shield on its back. But it is a little bit top heavy because of that, so okay, actually it hurt off pretty good, pretty well. So in case you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. And just take that off, there we go. And now on to the transformation. I decided to remove all the pieces, at least as much as I can. That way it'd be a lot easier to transform. Some people can transform this kit with everything attached. I just figured this would be a lot easier given the time. So to start off with the legs, what you gotta do is you need to get your fingernail and hopefully nothing falls off. Extend this just a little bit like so. And you can put this back in. There we go. Take these pieces out. That's near the ankle. Extend the leg like so. You can take these pieces off. That's on the side of the foot. That should be a lot easier to transform. Move the kneecap up like so. Take this out. And with this, and I really like this mechanic. I kind of wish I did this with the Master Grade. But if you just push down, that piece comes out. So you just need to put that there. Fold that piece of the kneecap just down, just a little bit. Try not to take the pieces off. And on to here on the foot, you move the heel out, like so. Move the front over. Flip these up. Move that up, like so. And you can just put these back in, but make sure that originally in unicorn mode, they were like so, and you just need to move them like that. And just like on the other side. And there we go. There's the leg. Now onto the body and arms. And to start off, let's do the waist. So all you gotta do is take these out, like so, just a little bit, and you kind of just move them up. Very simple. I do want to add that I believe the transformation, the real grade transformation for the unicorn, along with the Banshee, is a lot easier than that of the Master Grade. I will review the Master Grade hopefully shortly, but I have some plans for that one, and you all will see soon. Anyway, on the side skirts, you just need to move this forward. You may need to get your fingernail in there. Let me see. Let me try the other side. There we go. It's supposed to look like that. And okay, there we go. Got that side. Now as for the back, just need to take those out like so. And the last piece, so move this up or move it really down, like so. And there's the waist. Then you go back here, you see this little piece here. You take it out just slightly. And that should extend the body. Just enough so you can see the inner frame. And you plug it back in. Then you extend the torso like that. And you move these two pieces up. Now luckily this is easy for the road grade, whereas the master grade you mainly use a toothpick to take these out. And last bit is to move these pieces downward. Again, use your fingernail like so. Now as for the arms, the shoulders are actually on the some sort of mechanic. So what you gotta do is, if you go underneath here, you move it downward, just so you see this sort of vent sticking out. You can adjust it like so, so it has this effect part like so. So same thing here. Get your fingernail on the top, move it downward. Expose the vent, and there you have the shoulders. And as for the arms, you just, if you extend this, okay, maybe there we go. Get that part out like so. So one more time. Like that. Okay. Push that up with the form. Then you extend that. There we go. And then you put that back in. So same thing on the other side. Push it out. Pull that up. Extend the form. Put that back down. And if you want, you can actually rotate these out. These are for the beam sabers. And that's it for the body. Before I continue, I actually forgot to show you all something, but if you look inside the waist, you see right here is a connection piece for the legs. You can, I believe this is not part of transformation, but you can just do this for different positions for the legs. You can actually move that down like so. And just one solid piece, so you don't need to go on either side, but yes, just another addition for this kit. Now onto the backpack, or the Armed Armor XC, or Xeno Code, I believe. Anyway, so what you gotta do is you just move these upward like so, flip these around. Oop, make sure these pieces don't fall. And make sure these are shown. So let me just add that piece back on. There we go. And just like how it was on the unicorn backpack, you just move this piece up like so, and you extend the thrusters on the side. And of course, they may not go all the way out just because these might be in the way. So, and that's it for the backpack. As for the head, you can either, the instructions recommends you take these side pieces off. I don't actually need to. Actually, maybe I do need to. The only thing I say that's because right here is that connection piece for the side pieces of the head. And the thing is, if you look closely, these actually extend. So there is a possibility these can stick on if you would just extend those. So that's why I say, the instructions say you should take them off. It may not need to be necessary, but it was kind of nice just so they would be out of the way. So extend those. You can take the face and you can just rotate it. And actually, I do need to take this out just because the eyes probably just got shift it a little bit. This is one thing I'm not too big fan of the eyes that comes with these kits. Not just the real grade, but just because sometimes they just don't like to stay on properly. Especially if it's a transformation kit, but there we go. Alright, eyes are fixed. And you put that back on. You close these up. Now these side, I guess cheek plates, if you want to call them, they go like so for unicorn mode, but for destroy mode, you rotate them like so. Place it back on. Rotate it on the other side, place it back on. And where is that? Where is that? Yeah. There we go. Finally. And then last but not least, you take the V-fin and you extend it like so. In case you didn't do what I do, this kit actually comes with like a regular V-fin and a regular horn, so if you don't want to open it and close like I did, you can just replace the horn with the V-fin. Like, here's the V-fin, and here's the horn. So take this off, place it there, you have options. And that's about it for the head. And now for the last but not least, the armed armor DE. And this transformation is actually very simple. All you gotta do is just extend this. Try not to remove it. Like so. Expose the shield blades. Like that. And you can extend these out on the bottom. And you extend the ones on top. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And there's a shield. And here is the Unicorn Gundam Banshee in this destroy mode. And I must admit, I was kind of surprised the way how this turned out. And what I mean by that is, to me, it just looks a little bit skinny. And I don't know whether just because it's just the way how it's transformed. But I just feel like the Banshee or the Unicorn mode was more kind of bulky, whereas this one is a little more slim. Not just my personal preference, but other than that though, I actually didn't have too many issues like transforming this. Like yeah, a couple pieces fell off, but it wasn't that bad. So I was really stunned by that, and I'm really thankful for that. And some pieces was thankfully staying on quite well during the transformation. Other than that though, yeah, it was pretty good. Even it transformed like I said, it did look a little bit, the figure does look a bit skinny, but it didn't destroy the fact that this looks really impressive all to transform. I kind of wish the Norn came with the other weapons, the armor pieces that I mentioned earlier, when the Unicorn first debuted at the end of episode 4 of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. But yeah, beggars can be choosers, and this is a real grade. And now this was maybe the perfect grade. Maybe I have all the pieces, who knows. But that aside though, I am really surprised and really well pleased the way how this kit turned out. And with that action piece attachment that I showed earlier, you can definitely portray poses such as this. I am thankful for that too, because this kit does really look so much better in an aerial pose such as this. And before I continue, I just want to add that this kit came with a few extra pieces. For starters, it came with closed fists, along with open hands. I wouldn't say these are manipulators, these don't really move. And hopefully just focus a little bit. So you have one for both arms, both hands really. And just like how it's used for his right hand, there's also a open fist for his left hand. All you gotta do is take these off. There we go. And you see that little peg. Let's see if I can focus a little bit.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oops. I'm sorry about that. That's my laptop. I didn't even mention his name, so excuse that. Let's see if we can focus a little bit. Okay, I was hoping if I pause it, it would focus a little bit better, but it did not. But anyway, you see that peg there? That's where the handle of the beam rifle is going to go in. And once you put that piece on, you just close it with this other piece of the hand, and like so. It also comes with a little small dark navy blue figurine of Rede Marcinas. At least, again, don't know if I'm butchering his name. I haven't decided if I want to paint this yet. I'm not very good with painting small figurines such as this, but something to consider. The last accessory I want to show you all is that it does come some beam sabers like so. So you can either do one of two things. You're going to either rotate this out like I showed earlier during the transformation. And you can just place the beam saber in there. Or you can either take the beam saber out, whether it be here, or there's a spare one right here on the arm number XC. I think these two come out. Well, you get the gist that, for some reason it's fighting me, but you get the gist that you can actually take those beam sabers out, the handles, and you can just, let's set that down. Do what I showed you earlier. Take the hand, get your fingernail in there, open it, you see the hole, place it in the hand, like so, and you close it up. And now time for my final thoughts. Is this a kit worth getting? Well, let me tell the pros. For starters, the transformation, I find it very easy compared to the master as I mentioned before. Not too many pieces fall off, so I'm very thankful for that. It was very simple to not just transform, but just the build itself, and that could be due to the skeletal system that I mentioned, that the skeletal or inner frame was just a few pieces in the runners compared to other kits where there's like many connecting pieces. So that could be the reason why it's pretty strong and withholding. Another pro is the fact that it's pretty balanced on that action base. For those of you who've seen it, I have a video on the real grade Strike Freedom, and I'm gonna be completely honest, that one was a disaster to film. Don't get me wrong, I love filming it, it would not pose for the life of me. A bunch of pieces were falling off, it would not stay still on the action pose, the action base. Whereas the Banshee Norn is pretty stable. It's holding off pretty well. A couple pieces fell off, but again, that was only a couple. Whereas Strike Freedom, it was a piece by piece by piece, and the same pieces kept on falling off even though I barely touched it. So this one definitely a lot better than the Strike Freedom, that's for sure. Another pro could be just the build itself. I didn't find the build too confusing. It was pretty simple, easy to follow instructions. Even though it's a transformation Gundam kit, I didn't really think it was that complex. Cons? I can't think of any big cons that strike me, honestly. Yeah, I did mention about the color being a dark blue, not a black. But every Banshee kit, would be real grade, master grade, high grade, or even perfect grade, it's all a dark navy blue instead of black. The only black piece that there is actually the backpack. That one is the only black one that's associated with the kit, black color really. But other than that, I'm okay with the navy blue. I accepted that it is, and I actually did like it. It didn't impress me, so I'm fine with that. And also it matched well with the gold, so I can't deny that either. But as for cons, I can't think of too many. Now, with that being said, I highly suggest this would be a great kit to add to your collection. Whether it be a fan of Gunpla, fan of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, or just a fan of model kit building, I would say this would be a great addition to your collection. So thank you for watching this review on the real great Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee Norn. It was fun to film, fun to build. Again, I do recommend this to your collection. So if you haven't done so, please hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Definitely more videos to come. I do apologize for the long wait. I will say that my schedule will be starting to be more open very soon. So hopefully there won't be much of a delay as it was in the past week. So again, I do apologize for that, but I promise I will... There we go. I promise that I'll be uploading more videos shortly and much more regularly, or at the very least every few days. So again, thank you for all watching, and keep on building.